Hey Scorpio, welcome to Intention 1111. I'm here to do your a week in Scorpio. We're sliding in at the 10th hour here, but by God, we're here. I wanted to say thank you to everybody who views the channel and the videos. I appreciate you guys. If you'd like to book a personal read with me, you can reach me at whereyourintentions at intentions1111 or .com or the Jezebelway at gmail.com. We've come off of the Aries energy, or we're coming out of that, which, was pretty intense, but it should have been really good for moving energy. So let's see what we got for Scorpios for this week. Let's see. This is the first through the first through the 8th. Let's just say first through the 8th, something like that, of October. Triumphant success. 1, new beginnings, right? That's really good. So this should be a good week for getting tasks done, getting things done. Material and spiritual prosperity. Balance and fairness coming in this week. Pay attention to where your creativity is this week. You've got some idea here with the sacral chakra of bringing some kind of creative thing into the material world, right? Getting in alignment with things also, and closing cycles. So you basically have, with triumphant success, you basically have whatever you speak turns to gold this week. Whatever you speak turns to gold this week. So remember that. You also may be being put in charge of something very important in order to maintain the balance in something. So let's see what we got this week for Scorpio. We're going to start with overall, then career, money, and love. Whatever you speak this week is a success. Okay, success. Whatever you speak this week is a success. And also, for those of you who are musically inclined, this, you see how this sort of mimics these records on the wall, the coins do? So whatever, if you are musically gifted or you have some sort of gift with your throat chakra, this is the week to be bringing that creativeness out. And it's going to be very successful. The sacral is about our creative center. And you have the green light here with whatever you speak turns to gold this week. And you have this idea of success, soul success. So remember, for those of you who are creative and music, writing, whatever it is, right? This is the week to bring that creativity to the forefront. You're also becoming enlightened about bringing a project together, bringing something together with this 1 and this 2 here, the sacral and this triumphant success. And you're standing here looking out across your success. And the red here lends to having the confidence and the capability of bringing whatever that is out into the material world. So if you're going to do something, you're going to launch something, you're going to release something, for the public viewing or whatever, this is the week to do it. So let's see what else you can expect in career. Show me Scorpio career. And you might have just the right audience for it too. If you have something to say this week, say it. Scorpios have been carrying a lot of unnecessary stress. I kind of feel like this is, I mean, it's stress. It's real to whoever it's real to, right? For them. So when I say this, I don't mean to invalidate anyone's idea of stress or their reality or what's happening to them, right? But right here, what I'm seeing is that maybe there's some stress that we're taking on that's not necessary, right? Sometimes Scorpios can be really hard on themselves, and we are our own worst critics, right? And so sometimes we have a tendency when we're getting stuck in a loop, right, in our head, sometimes we have a tendency to beat ourselves up and to be really hard on ourselves about deadlines and not getting something accomplished. And you should have done this instead of that. And it creates an unnecessary stress. And so I see a lot of Scorpios here in this career issue creating a lot of unnecessary stress with things that are not in reality, things that are not in their reality, things that are not currently happening, right? And you know, you can't borrow trouble from tomorrow. So what I'm seeing here is the illusion of stress, right? Eliminating in your career an illusion of stress. So let's kind of clarify and see what that means. So I feel like we've been carrying a lot of unnecessary stress, and I feel like with this Aries moon, that is clearing the playing field. It's clearing things out, and it's moving energy and helping us see things in a more realistic way and not in such a and not such a way that brings in unnecessary thought processes. That makes any sense to y'all. So let me see what this is about. Show me the Four of Swords and the Seven of Cups in reverse. Right. We are blocking our own forward movement. We kind of need to lighten up a little bit this week in career. You also, some of you may be blocking your own path forward here because you are not viewing yourself the way that others view you. There's something here with feeling like people don't like you or feeling like they don't appreciate your work or they're not doing a good job or you're not doing a good job. And I think this is as a result of not getting enough feedback from supervisors or bosses or coworkers or whatever. Sometimes you're not going to get feedback. You're not. And you're not going to get a lot of positive feedback. You know, sometimes the feedback is more what you didn't do instead of what you did, right? Or why you came to the conclusion, or how you had to patch that shit up just to make it presentable, right? So I feel like here, Scorpios, you're asking for some recognition that you don't feel like you're getting. The idea here is to blaze forward anyway. Again, this week is the week to speak. Whatever it is you say turns to gold. Do not get so wrapped up with the idea this week of people viewing you in a way that is not exactly the case, right? I feel like there's a lot of defensive energy here in these cards. Like, you know, you're having to defend yourself from coworkers, or you're having, oh, they don't like me, you know, or whatever the situation is. Sometimes Scorpios can go that direction. And if that's legitimately the energy that you're picking up or something that you are actually dealing with in your reality, the advice is to keep it moving. Turn over a new leaf, go forward, find something else, whatever it is. But the idea is to blaze forward anyway, right? Whether that means shine where you're at or go shine somewhere else. But you have a choice of a path here, right? You can get rid of this unnecessary stress. You can start seeing yourself in a little bit different light. And the way to do that is, what am I actually bringing to this position? What am I doing that I'm actually successful at? What am I good at? What am I doing and producing on a daily basis that is beneficial to this company or this job or this whatever, right? Whatever your situation. So this right here is saying if you don't stop the track right here, right, and kind of change the track, then what you're looking forward to is sort of an idea of creating unnecessary stress by thinking that you're being viewed in a specific way, right? Now, for another group of people, you feel as though you are being separated or singled out, and you feel like you are having to defend yourself or you're having to clean up a lot of messes. Moving forward, world moving forward to the Hermit is a 9. And a 9 is about closing a cycle out. So basically, this is about putting down a boundary. I can't clean this fire up anymore. I'm not going to be the cleanup crew. That's not in my job description. So it's time for me to drive on. If you are experiencing that kind of thing in the workplace where you are constantly being singled out, or you feel like, for example, there's trouble brewing and you're having to defend yourself against something, it's time to move on. Right? Life is too short. We all have bills to pay. We don't have time to waste any more time in shitty jobs with shitty people who don't appreciate what we do, period. Go where you're appreciated. So let me clarify these two cards. You're also being called to remain silent. Okay, let me finish. You're also being called to remain silent against attackers. So if someone's trying to draw you into a verbal argument or something like that, trying to set you up, crickets. That's what you need to have for them, crickets. Now, when you are expressing yourself, or when you are doing something creative, or you are presenting something, what you say turns to gold. But here in this specific conflicting situation, you're being called to have crickets. Basically, this page and this hermit here tell me that you don't have to explain yourself to anybody. I don't have to explain myself to you. What you say turns to gold depending on how you maneuver it, right? So hope that makes some kind of sense. But let me clarify what the Tower and the 9 of Wands has to say. Show me the Tower and the 9 of Wands. Maintain your cool. Strategize, analyze, think about your opponents. Okay, that's like a walk in the park for Scorpio, right? You're observing your enemies, perceived enemies, if they're perceived enemies or if they're real enemies, right? It all depends on your reality. Some of you are being called to reassess a situation because not everybody's your enemy. And others are being called to assess what your priority is against enemies, right? Anyway, crickets here, strategizing and analyzing what's the best course of action is happiness, is success, right? So basically, this is about using your gifts as a Scorpio. Scorpios are very good at observing their enemy and knowing just where to strike to take them down, period. I mean, you can be in a grocery store, okay, and know exactly what it's going to take, right? That's the natural part to Scorpio, right? So you're being asked to analyze a situation and what's the best route to success, okay? Do you want to allow this situation to draw you into an energy where you're reacting, where you're not in control? Or are you going to sit back and you're going to have crickets? And then what you say turns to gold because you've played it the right way, right? So you have something to say here. Somebody may be trying to draw you into conflict in the workplace, or they may be abusing your skill set or cleaning up fires or whatever, and they want you to react and they want you to blow up. And you're being called to analyze and strategize, period, before you strike. Where is the best place to strike? Where's the most beneficial place to strike? So, if that makes sense to you, great. If you don't want to fuck with any of that, it's time to move on from something that you've been nursing for quite a while that's just creating more chaos and more undue stress, okay? So, if that makes sense to y'all, let me know. Okay, so let's go to your money situation. So, think before you speak and figure out where's the soft spot. And that's where you strike, where it's softest, right? So let's see here about money. Again, you have conversation, some sort of expression with the throat chakra, some sort of presentation that you're doing, something you're expressing or creative expression, right? Being lucrative for you this week. Whatever you say turns to gold this week. Just remember that. It may be important for something. Show me Scorpio's money. You may be in a really good position this week to help others if that's what you're looking to do. You may be in a position this week to sort of manage money. You've got 6 of Pentacles here, so somebody may be getting money coming in. So if this is settlement, if it's some sort of bonus, if it's something that you've been trying to work on or keep or fight, right? Fight having, that may be coming in this week. Let me see what that might be. Show me the 6 of Pentacles. What's the money? Show me 6 of Pentacles. What's the money? Transformation in money. Again, you may be in a position to help somebody this week. Some of you may be moving on from a partnership or a job, okay? Manage your money. Let me see. There may be changes for some of you, a new path with money, a new way of looking at money. You have Scorpio here, the Death card, changes, transformation in money. You've got the 6 and the 5 of Pentacles here, which is a new path. And you've got moving on from a partnership, moving on from a job, maybe. Also, maybe some of you are giving somebody what they want. Some of you give them what they want. Give them what they want. Whatever that is for you. Give them what they want, right? So let's see the 5 and the 6 of Pentacles. What does this mean for money for Scorpio? Ooh, changes in money this week. Show me 5 of Cups. Okay. Relationships this week may affect your money. Okay. Moving on from a relationship, a partnership, a job may affect your money. Which, I mean, of course it's going to. That's pretty self-explanatory. But let me see why. Show me the Hierophant. Why? Show me the 5 of Cups and the Hierophant. Again, you've got an idea of creative expression bringing in money. Some of you need to figure out what you're worth. Okay, so this is part of this. Okay, some of you are just giving away your gifts and talents. You're just giving them away, and you're not really thinking about how you're blocking your money, right? Because if you're not clear on what your services are worth, right? You are not respecting yourself, right? So, for example, somebody's undercutting themselves here with their money or their services, and they're not charging what they should be charging for a service, or maybe this is asking for a raise. Some of you may need to ask for a raise. Some of you may be figuring out this week that no job or nothing is worth the kind of stress you're enduring for the money, right? So lots of changes in the way you're viewing money this week as a priority. Is it worth it or not? But some of you here really need to stop and think about what you're charging for a particular service. You're coming up short because you don't understand your relationship to what you do and the service that you perform being worth what it's worth. You're undercutting yourself. You're not charging enough for something that you are doing. You're giving it away. The new path to money, changing the way that you think about money. Some of you also, when I close my eyes, I get a square, right? So some of you have karmic ties, karmic issues with money. You have to change your relationship with money moving forward this week. You have completed your karma with your relationship to money. You've completed your karma. You don't have to, beat yourself up about money anymore. You've completed that cycle. Now, this week, you have to change the way you're viewing money. And you need to charge what you're worth, and you need to be practical about your money. You also, some of you have someone with their hand out a little bit too much, which is causing you problems with your money. And that is something that needs to change this week. So, long story short, okay, if you need to tell somebody no this week, tell someone no. This is about prioritizing your worth. So we understand what we're worth. We understand our value. Then we operate accordingly. So this ties into everything else about not understanding your worth. Not only the business or the service that you perform, but your worth as a person. So your money, some of you, is directly tied with how you see your own value as a person. So you got the square. That means you've completed that lesson. Now it's time to change the way that you view yourself, because that has a direct tie with the relationship that you have with money. Okay? Others of you may be experiencing changes this week in money. Some of you need to tell somebody no. Quit giving it away. Some of you may be in a position to help someone. And if you feel led to do that and you feel like that's the right thing to do and you're in a position to do that, don't hesitate this week, right? And then some of you may be leaving a position, so hold on to your money, right? You may be going in a different direction, let's say from corporate to street painter, okay? That's kind of the track I'm seeing here. What you need to value is how you feel about yourself, not what you're getting paid, okay? Some of you need to ask for a raise this week, because what you say turns to gold this week. Quit rejecting your gifts. Quit rejecting your gifts because you don't think it's valuable. Quit rejecting your work because you don't view yourself as valuable. So some of you have a direct tie about with money, about how you value yourself. This week, you need to change that cycle. So let's move on to love. Somebody may be speaking an offer this week. It's a proposal of sorts. You've got soulmate action. You've got twin flame action. You've got fate. Somebody is going to be presenting a proposal this week. Show me Scorpio in love. This person makes you feel like light, happy. This person makes you feel empowered. Like, I can do anything if this person is by my side, right? They give you a sense of courage. Or they activate, and you've got this Two of Cups here, or they activate that part of Scorpio that Scorpio will run the gauntlet. They will fight the world for this person, right? So a proposal this week is being presented to Scorpio, or Scorpio is, I feel like, receiving a proposal. But when this person is presenting this proposal, you kind of are going to be like, this person is very logical, right? And they kind of overdo it. I guess that's what I'm getting at. You know how you feel about this person. You know how this person feels about you. But in the presentation of this, they're going a little bit overboard. Like they're trying to really sell it to you. Right? Like, see this sword? Isn't this a beautiful sword? Look at the craftsmanship of this sword. Right? It's something kind of like that they're really trying to convince you to say yes to their proposal. And you already know you're going to say yes because you feel like how you feel about them, right? But they're really trying to convince Scorpio. So Scorpio, take that to heart and say, hey, you know what? Maybe this person doesn't understand that they don't have to go that hard because I may not be expressing enough to them how I feel, right? This may be me not expressing enough. So it's calling you with the Temperance card to bring a little bit of balance to the situation. They don't have to oversell it, right? You both do have something to bring to the table. You're both approaching this situation as we're a good partnership. They make you feel courageous. You may make them feel safe. Something like that. But it's a perfect fit. You often laugh together a lot with this person. Now, if you haven't met this person yet, you could be encountering them coming in this week. Now, I'm not saying, oh, you're going to meet them and they're going to propose this week. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you haven't met this person yet, you may be coming into meeting this person this week, who eventually you may go into commitment with. Scorpios, if you're already existing with someone, you may be finding that you are accepting a proposal this week that somebody's really overselling. Others of you, and this is the dreaded moment for all, others of you are going to have a throwback from the past. Now, this person also may be really selling this point. They are overselling it like a used car salesman. Take a moment to think about that before you move forward. For some of you, it's going to be exactly what you want. Yay, you're happy. This could be, we were really good together. What happened to us? We could have done this, we could have done that. You know, look at how good we were together. Look at the craftsmanship of this sword. Isn't this a beautiful sword? Just look at it. They may be selling themselves, okay, and you may not be buying. No reason you have to. But some of you in that same scenario are going to be very happy that they've made their way back around to you again. Say what you want, but you're goddamn happy here, okay? So, love, it might be a little bit of a tricky thing this week. I do think Venus goes into Libra at some point this next week or two. Something like that. I mean, do your own research, right? But there may be some communication that's coming into balance about a love relationship. Some of you are getting the question popped. Some of you are meeting somebody this week who you may have a long-term commitment with. Others of you got a throwback coming in that you're just like, ugh. And then others of you have a throwback coming in that you're very, very happy to see. So, that's what I got for you guys, Scorpio. Like it or lump it, that's what we got. But let's get some advice cards on it and see what they have to say. Show me advice for Scorpio. Stop trying to carry the world on your shoulders. That's where we began in this read, right? Stop trying to carry the world on your shoulders. It's not your responsibility. It's not your responsibility to clean up after other people. It's their responsibility. Say goodbye to your past. Leave the baggage behind for good. Yeah, you tried to sell me this sword before, remember? Okay, and fix your relationship with money based on how you view and value yourself. Listen to your body and do what it's asking of you. No job is worth the amount of stress that I have to take home, right? The amount of stress that I'd go through. No job is worth that. So it's a lot of removing things in our lives this week, right? Saying no, helping, or paying attention to the patterns. So I'll see you guys hopefully for second half.